What's up, gals and pals? It's your buddy Coach Vino. Now, if you guys have been watching this channel long enough, that you know that this guy right here loves himself some Amaro. I mean, there was just something about that bittersweet Italian liqueur. It just really hits home. Now, it could be because I grew up in the Little Italy area of the Bronx, which, if you don't know, is the neighborhood where the movie A Bronx Tale takes place. And look, I remember growing up and going to, my friends' homes for dinner. And after dinner, the family would always offer me a little bit of their homemade Amaro. And I remember back then thinking it was the worst tasting thing in the world. It was just so bitter. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'd be like, grazie. But I didn't really want it. You know what I'm saying? But now as an adult, I love absolutely everything about the Amaro category. It is just so freaking delicious. It is so complex. And then, to be honest with you, I mean, there's just so many different styles and varieties. It's just a really fun category to explore. Now, if you're not too familiar with the category, I'm going to put a link down in the description to my Amaro playlist, where I also have a Amaro 101 video that you guys can check out and just learn the basics about Amaro. Anyway, so look, I was recently perusing Amazon, looking for a birthday gift for a pal of mine who I'd recently introduced to Amaro, and now he's absolutely in love with the category. And I say, you know what, I'm gonna get this guy one of my favorite Amaro recipe books, and that's this bad boy right here. That's Amaro from Jason Clapham. Now, this is a really great cocktail recipe book. It has 500 recipes, all really easy to understand. And if you're into the Amaro category, or if you're looking to get into it, this is a really great resource. I mean, it's got so many recipes. Like I said, it's only like 12 bucks. And if you want to pick up a copy of this, I'll put an affiliate link down in the description so you guys can go ahead and pick that up. And you can send Vino a couple pennies of commission. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, while I was perusing Amazon looking for this bad boy and the whole, suggested items stuff, which I always fall for that, I ended up seeing a listing for this bad boy right here. And this is an Amaro Infusion kit. Now, it's made by a small little company called Our Hands, and I clicked on it. I said, what the hell is this, right? Because as long as I've been doing this whole cocktail thing, which is almost a quarter century now, I never made my own Amaro. I don't know why it never occurred to me. I made a million different liqueurs, but I've never made an Amaro. So anyway, so I said, you know what, let me pick this up and just see what it's all about. It's only 20 bucks, and it has some good reviews. And then when I got it in the mail, I didn't realize it actually has 3 different Amari kits in here. So I get to make 3 different Amaris with this bad boy. So look, for 20 bucks, I mean, you really can't go wrong. I mean, it comes with everything you need in here, all the tools and whatnot, all the herbs and spices and seasons and all that stuff like that. And all you've got to buy is, in addition, is a couple of oranges and a little bit of vodka or bourbon. I'm not going to put bourbon in an Amari. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. But I will use some vodka. Anyway, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and make this bad boy. I'm going to do a little unboxing. We'll see what's inside of it. Then we'll infuse it, and we'll make ourselves some Amari, right, folks? But before I do that, I'm going to need you guys to go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you can help Vino feed the hungry algorithm. And make sure you stick around, because we're about to boogie down. All right, folks, so let's look at what is in the sauce, or should I say in the box, for our Amaro Infusion kit. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to put an affiliate link down in the description in case you guys want to go ahead and pick up a box of this bad boy here and, try making your own Amaro at home, and you will be sending Vino a couple of pennies in commission. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, so trust me, I'm not getting rich here. Anyway, let's look at what's in it again. I'm going to start with some of the peripheral stuff here, okay? First, you're going to get a little funnel here to obviously transfer into your jars, and then you're going to get a little measuring spoon here. It looks to be about a teaspoon, maybe a half a teaspoon. And then you're going to get a fine mesh strainer, and you're also going to get a cloth strainer here. So you want to keep all the little bits out of this bad boy here, right? And then in terms of what's actually in the different ingredients here, it looks like we got ourselves some coffee beans. So obviously, there's a coffee Amaro here, and I'm very excited about that. And then we have aniseed here. Aniseed is gonna get you some of those licorice notes that you get from like absinthe or sambuca, something like that, okay? And then we're gonna get some gentian root. Now, gentian root is what's gonna get you kind of, if you ever had soup before, you've had gentian root before. And then we have some juniper berries. Now, juniper berries are what you would most commonly find in gin. This is what makes gin. And then we're also gonna get some chinoa bark here, okay? And that's gonna really give you a lot of those bitter notes. This you'll find a lot in your homemade bitters as well, okay? Anyway, guys, and then it comes with a little instruction manual here, and inside that it has a little bit of history about the company, a little bit of backstory on infusing Amaro. Then it has instructions for all three different Amaro. The first one is called That's Amaro. The second one is called Zesty Digestif, and the last one is called the Espresso Amaro. So it comes with everything you need, but in addition to that, what you're definitely gonna need is you're gonna need some vodka or bourbon, okay? You're also gonna need some sugar syrup or some simple syrup. There's also one that calls for some runny clear honey. So, but if you don't want to use that and you want to just go straight simple syrup, you can do that as well. And then you're going to need 2 oranges because you're going to need to get some zest off of those oranges, okay? So that's what you're going to need in terms of ingredients. And it has everything to know about making it here. And then in terms of equipment, you're going to want to have at least 3 jars to infuse the stuff in, and then 3 jars to pour it into at the end, or bottles, whatever you want to do when you want for your final product. And you're also going to want a pestle and mortar so you can just crush down the ingredients here so that they are easier to infuse. Okay, guys. So now that we know everything we need, let's go ahead and start infusing. And we'll start with the first one here, which again is called That's Amaro, which is the name of the book I bought my pal. What do you know? All right, folks. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, well, there we have it, folks. Our 3 different Amari, all infused in vodka. We have our That's Amaro, our Zesty Digestif, and our Espresso Amaro, okay? So I'm gonna let these infuse for a couple of weeks, and then through the magic of YouTube, we'll jump to the future where I'll strain them and I'll add a sweetener to them, and then we'll go ahead and bottle them and give them a sippy sip, right, folks? So let's go ahead and jump to the future. All right, folks, well, here we are. We got all 3 of our Amari fully infused. I ended up going for about 3 weeks. I got caught up with life and didn't have an opportunity to film or strain, but here we are. And that's okay, because the box does say anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks. So I think we're gonna get the perfect infusion here, okay? Now, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna strain these Amari into our flip top bottles here. I got 1 for each of our Amari. And you know, it does come with a little mesh strainer here, a cotton strainer, and a funnel. But I'm gonna use my own nut milk strainer. I think it does a better job with a fine strain and my own funnel here. But you can definitely go ahead and use that. If you don't like the way it comes out, you still feel that there's some particles in it, then use a coffee strainer afterwards. You can do like a second strain, okay? But I feel like the nut milk strainer gets it all done in one shot, all right, guys? So let's go ahead and strain our 3 Amari into these flip tops, and I'll see you afterwards. All right, guys, so there you have it. Our 3 Amari all strained and bottled. And I've actually gone ahead and added the sweeteners as well. Okay, now let's go through what that is, right? So for the That's Amaro, you're gonna do about 5 ounces of a simple syrup, all right? And then for the Zesty Digestif, you're gonna do 5 ounces of a honey syrup. If you don't want to use a honey syrup, you could still use a simple syrup as well. And then for the That's Amaro, we're gonna do, once again, 5 ounces of a simple syrup, okay? Now, you can definitely adjust these to your palate if you want them to be a little less sweet or more sweet. Definitely go for it. This is just what's in the instructions, and I'll find out what I think once we give them a sip, okay? So once you've added the sweetener, you wanna make sure you go ahead and shake these up really well and make sure everything gets, infused and imparted well, okay? So let's go ahead now and give these a sippy sip. So I got my little Glencairn here, which I'm gonna give these bad boys a sip with. And then I got myself a nice cup of water here so I can cleanse the palate. And I have it in my Mr. Rogers mug because, folks, in this crazy world we live in, it's always a nice reminder to be kind to your fellow man. That's exactly what Mr. Rogers stood for, right? Anyway, so let's start with our That's Amaro, okay? So what stands out in this one to me is the juniper berries, okay? Everything else is pretty standard fare for an Amaro. You've got the spice blend, the gentian root, the aniseed, all stuff like that. But the juniper is the one thing that should make this one be distinctive, you know what I'm saying, from the others, all right? Let's give it a little pour here. All right. Really excited for this. So beautiful nose. I mean, you're definitely picking up the juniper, man. That has a very gin forward nose. Ooh, super exciting. But you definitely get the gentian root and whatever spice blend that they have. Cheers. Oh, that is really good. On the palate, you're picking up more of the aniseed than you are anything else. You're getting that bitterness though. I mean, this is really bitter. This is nice. Oh yeah. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Just the right amount of sweetness. Again, very aniseed forward. You get those licorice notes and stuff like that. But you get some nice citrus in this as well. Very, very pretty, guys. Ooh, I like that. Let me just let me go clean this and I'll come back for the next try. All right, so I'm back. I got 2 glasses here, so we don't have to do that again. All right, let me go ahead and cleanse my palate. Mr. Rogers here. That's great. You know what's cool about this mug? When you put coffee in there or something hot, the sweater changes, just like Mr. Rogers used to do. All right. So anyway, so that's Amaro, which I think is really good. Again, you can definitely get the aniseed very forward. It's actually really bitter as well. I like the way that one comes out, okay? So let's go ahead now and try our Zesty Digestif. This is the one, if I recall correctly, yeah, we use a 2 whole orange, zest from 2 whole oranges, and also we use some honey syrup in this, okay? So this should taste very different from that one. All right. Let's seal this bad boy up and give it a sip. Cheers. Yeah, so right in the nose, you get some really nice honey notes on this one. Oh yeah, you get some beautiful kind of marmalade almost. And that's gotta be from those orange peels as well. I mean, the orange and honey together give a very marmalade nose. Oh, that's very nice. I'm expecting this to be a little more viscous than that one. Oh, that is nice. This is really nice. Oh yeah, that is nice, guys. I mean, it's very citrus forward, but it's not as, you don't get as much aniseed in this one. I'm trying to look at the blend here. I'm picking up a lot of that gentian root in this one. This one has a very Suze palate. Not as earthy or vegetal as Suze, because I think the honey adds a little more groundness to it. It gives it a little more depth and whatnot, and gives it a little more roundness. Oh, this is very nice. Oh, that's a hit. That's a hit. Really like that. It'll be interesting to try to make these in cocktails or use them in cocktails. Really, really interesting. They're great so far by themselves. This one in particular, I think, is very good by itself. This one, the anise and the bitterness is a little more pronounced. So either you can sweeten it a little more, or you can just use it in the cocktail, and I think that'll help to help it blend better with something else. Okay. Now let's go ahead and try the espresso Amaro. I mean, I'm a huge coffee guy. I love coffee. And so this is really exciting. I mean, if I could drink coffee in the morning, Amaro in the evening, every day, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and give this bad boy a pour. Yeah, this one's very exciting for me. All right, seal this bad boy up again, and let's go ahead and give it a sniff. Oh yeah, so the coffee on the nose, I mean, it is super pronounced, very, very pleasant. Oh, that is pretty. What else do we have in this one? You know, I made these 3 weeks ago, so I don't remember. You got Gentiru, aniseed coffee, yeah. Now this is the one that they said you might want to use a bourbon instead of the vodka. I went with vodka. I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of bourbon on this, you know, in case it was a failure. Also because bourbon is better for me if I add it with a cocktail to the coffee as Amaro, okay? Cheers. Oh, that is delicious. I gotta tell you guys, this is one of the best purchases that I've ever made. I mean, this is really delicious stuff. I gotta tell you, that 3 weeks of infusion, I think very important. I think that extra week of infusion really helped the flavors really marinate into the vodka there. Oh, this is nice. You know, and the thing about this too, you know, I didn't give the sweetener much time. Actually, I didn't cleanse my palate. Let me try it again with the cleansed palate. Cheers. Yeah, this is delicious, guys. This is so fantastic. But again, like I said, you know, if you give these a couple of days, when the sweetener really starts to infuse even more and settle in a little more with the liquor, the Amari, it's gonna even taste better. I can tell you that right now. But as is, like straight out like this, excellent. This is a fantastic purchase, guys. If you're an Amaro fan, you would be foolish enough to at least try. You know what I'm saying? For whatever, with 20 bucks, whatever I said. Absolutely delicious. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a link down in the description for you guys. If you want to pick up a box of this, I think it's absolutely worth it. A super fun experiment. All you need to do is get some cheap vodka like I did, and you know what? It's gonna come out really delicious and just a fun experiment, guys. Wow, what a fun experiment. And a great gift for someone that you know that might like to make stuff at home, like that loves Amaro or likes liqueurs or likes to just cook or something like that. Really fun gift for them. Or if you want to make these, bottle them, and you know, put them into smaller bottles and give them away as gifts for people. This is the holiday season, at least at the time of recording this, and so I think it'd make a great gift for people, right, folks? Anyway, so listen, 3 Amari, 1 box. What did I say? 20 bucks. I don't even remember what I paid for this, but all I know is that it is worth every single penny, guys. Anyway, so listen, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it was a long one, but it was a long process, but it was a fun one, and I think you guys will absolutely enjoy it. And I've got some more fun Amaro videos coming up, including one from a new producer that I've never had before, that is kind of new to the scene, and really excited to show you guys what that bottle is made of. All right, guys? Anyway, so look, if you like this video, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. Remember, sharing is caring, and when life gives you lemons, well, in this case, if it gives you a box of Amaro, make some Amari, right, guys? Cheers.